childhood. Remember your 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 childhood.
I'm a person online who wants attention. I have a computer. I have video editing software. I have thoughts on media from my childhood, which can never end. Otherwise, I'd have to grapple with the knowledge the United States started collapsing before I started producing semen. Remember it like it was yesterday. Home alone, sick, bored. I've been masturbating since I was 8, and no, I wasn't groomed. I figured out my own while watching The New Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. It feels good when I rub my penis. It feels really good if I rub my penis with increasing speed. Wow, that built to an incredible climax. Now I feel shame and intrinsically know I can never tell anyone I'm doing this. Even worse, I'd already been online for at least a few years. I'd already watched my first full porn, Bottom Feeders 3, downloaded from a torrent. One in her ass, one in her pussy. That's what the first woman I watched get double penetrated said as she licked her lips towards the camera. As I said, I'd already been masturbating for years. I'd already found jackandworld.com. I was technically a teenager, and I was starting to freak out, because nothing was coming out. Oh, that's why they call it cum. Haha, hee hee, woohoo. But it finally happened that afternoon, after likely hundreds of orgasms, a disgusting, gelatinous tube pushed its way out my euphemism. And I immediately regretted ever worrying about being normal. There it was, my first dose of nostalgia. Age 14, I missed the good old days, before I had to clean up my mess and potentially fertilize an egg. Which brings me to We're Back. Not just an easy way to trick people into clicking on this video, who think I'm gonna read Wikipedia at them and intersperse with a Blu-ray scan of their childhood. A childhood presented by Steven Spielberg, trying to recoup Universal's box office bomb by buying advertisements on Nickelodeon, letting developing minds know, when you're walking next to your mom at Sam's Club, beg her to buy We're Back on VHS tape. Yes, it'll slowly drive your parents crazy, your willingness and ostensible need to watch 72 minutes of animation over a cumulative 5 days, but in 10 years, we'll re-release it on DVD, and you'll buy it. In 20 years, we'll release it again on Blu-ray, and you'll buy it. And then in 30 years, you'll download a torrent of it so you can do a video essay so you can get attention online, and you'll fucking love it. What do you want me to do? Read out the trivia section on IMDb? Consume every comment section on every We're Back video online? Collate the autistics who claim they spoke to one of 4 directors of We're Back, a Dinosaur Story? So you can learn everything there is to know about an effectively terrible, yet very lightly charming cash grab? Made to further milk all the families still reeling from Jurassic Park mania? This is not going to improve your life. Nobody needs to know anything more about We're Back other than I had a scene with the dinosaurs blended in New York City by pretending to be parade floats, and ironically, the Rex Macy's parade balloon they made to promote the film famously imploded. Why are you even here? If you thought this was an unironic video essay or review for We're Back, there's no way you're below the age of 30. What's wrong with you? Are you gonna pass down your nostalgia for crap to your kids? Even if you fool them in that brief moment before they realize Skibidi Toilet exists, this will just be one of many subconscious resentments that'll keep them from calling you once they leave home.
Remember your childhood. Remember your childhood. Remember your childhood. Remember your childhood.
It's weird that people have nostalgia for VHS tapes. Well, not weird, it makes perfect sense. We all want to pretend we don't live in a dystopia. And as, time is accelerating, seen through episode 1 of my show Else in My Life, the hypernormalization becomes more clear by the day. Outside of the rarities that were never transferred to other mediums, there's nothing better about VHS. This isn't audio, the theater of the mind. Convincing yourself vinyl records sound better because digital audio engineers are engaged in a loudness war. VHS has always been a crap format. Just remember the old hot take that beta lost even though its specs were more alpha. VHS is low resolution, it typically took wide aspect ratios and cropped them to full screen. The tape degrades with each rotation around its mechanized sun. The desire to keep watching VHS is a desire to return to your childhood. The time before you at least subconsciously realize the American dream is false. Keep your trust in progress, and in a few years, we'll have DVD. and you can rebuy your childhood. This time, the aspect ratio matches your parents' nostalgia. It won't be long before things get even better. Here comes another format war. Do you want to call the same thing HD video or Blu-ray? Whichever one has less staying power will receive an influx in video essays by the time you're forced to subscribe to 15 streaming content services. The same studio system that took years to realize selling their slop at home video would make them even more money, rather than destroy their box office profits, are the same studios making us pay them a recurring fee, ostensibly to save money, but really to give them a monthly booster shot on top of their already astronomical profits. Keep watching the past, entirely manufactured by a full city devoted to cultural propaganda, in increasing resolution. Sure, 35mm film is basically the equivalent of 4K, but thanks to our advancements in boiling lakes to power language learning models, we can rescan Back to the Future in 8K, further rendering your childhood with increasing fantasy. Back to the Future Part 1, what if we gave the boomers nostalgia for the 50s? Ooh, that really made them come in the Ronald Reagan 80s, where a Hollywood actor proved you could be president with dementia well before Joe Biden. Here comes Back to the Future Part 2. Once the DVD box set comes out in the knots, millennials can etch themselves on how hard the production worked to account for continuity errors before everyone was everywhere all at once, being online 24/7. Did they crack a few eggs by replacing Jennifer's actor and illegally using Crispin Glover's image? Sure, but that's how you make an idiomatic omelet. Back to the Future Part 3, filmed back-to-back to maximize marketing campaign. In 20 years, some asshole will buy the DeLorean assets in hopes of selling nostalgia to man-children who don't understand or don't care. The DeLorean was basically picked as a joke before it became a cultural icon. And not much later, Obama basically subsidized a Tesla, leading to one of the greatest soundbites of the past decade, everything's computer.
Remember your childhood, 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 remember your childhood.
Look at me, bombarding you with images as I speak with confidence. I am a video essayist. Surely if I don't know what I'm talking about, the comment section will make that clear. One person online shouting to the void? Meaningless. But one person online shouting to what's probably a real audience and being positively received? There must be something there. Don't think about that too hard. Don't consider the long-existent paid botnets and click farms that give out big veiny follower counts, tricking people into thinking you've earned a right to something to say, getting harder to detect as we burn more oil so Mark Zuckerberg can fill our feeds with AI bots that whisper into our ears, "Everyone hates you but me." Don't consider the PR agencies that exist to force slop into your already stinky trough. You think Stav's crowd work videos blew up organically? He clearly used his Cumtown proceeds to fund his ascension of getting pay pigs to convince their girlfriends this'll be a memorable date night. Certainly don't find two assholes online having a recorded debate, each with a follower count that should make us globally reconsider procreation, and compare their comment sections. Both sides think they won. It's not even the following anymore of both sides bad, answer last somewhere in the middle, completely ignoring there being no real left wing in the United States. No, once you have a huge following online, you're daddy, and you write about everything, fuck the haters. Of course, that doesn't typically last forever. Eventually, if you maintain a large enough audience long enough, more and more of them will grow to resent you. After they listen to you talk longer than listen to their entire friend circle talk over decades, heard your every anecdote, watched you become out of touch with increased attention and wealth, parasocially consumed every morsel of information about you that keeps them from noticing the sea level's rising outside. They want to move on, but they can't. It's an addiction. They're addicted to you. Even if they only listen to hate you, claim you've changed or realized you were never who they thought you were, it's like saying goodbye to a close loved one, breaking up with a long-term partner who's making you feel grounded. This is effectively our childhoods in this hyper-capitalist cyberpunk dystopia, and why they can't end. This is how we're kept in at least our entire lives by megalomaniacs like Walt Disney, who weren't content just making intricately animated fairy tale adaptations, but needed to drill themselves into the minds of entire generations. Short films, then feature lengths, then television blocks, then entire theme parks, then cable networks, internet portals, 24/7 streaming bundles. Here's an easy test for, are you an asshole? Are you alive, and is there a theme park named after you? If so, fuck you. It becomes exponentially worse the increasing speed and accrued time mass media is beaten into our brains. I'm lucky to have had 11 years before I had my first fix, that is being online as often as I can. I can stop whenever I want to. I just choose not to because I can't, considering I'm under the age of 80 living inside a cyberpunk dystopia. Oh, interesting. You articulately call out the issues that you have an iPhone. I'm too stubborn to see why that doesn't change your point.
Remember your childhood. 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 Remember your childhood.
In the year 2025, I referenced a Conan O'Brien bit, which I only realized I was referencing after the falsetto of that last bit. Iron sharpening iron, that's what I always say. Oh look, I just referenced a katana unboxing video, which was referenced in Chapter 2 of We're Back, a Childhood Story, which you're currently watching. I'm doing a rewatch of my childhood, hoping to spot something I missed the last time. Oh shit, I remember those. PB Crisp, PB Crisp, PB Crisp, the commercial chanted into my developing mind. Thank you, Nabisco food scientists, for combining the puffed Cheeto emulsification process with graham cracker, and filling it with sugary peanut butter. Now, as a supposed adult, I sometimes wonder, whatever happened to PB Crisps? And I find there's a full community online of people pining for their childhoods. Sometime between Kraft buying Nabisco and Heinz merging with Kraft, but before Hormel bought Planters. Fortunately, some assholes on the case, turning your lost childhood into almost literal gruel. Our senses spark memories, so let's pretend memory is infallible. Remember Butterfinger BBs? They're like Butterfingers, which still exist, but better, because they tighten your warm memories for The Simpsons at its peak. Remember Matilda? I barely do, but I need to keep this bit going, so I googled it and apparently chocolate cake was the movie's MacGuffin. Remember PB Chris from earlier in this chapter? Here's an asshole wearing gloves, scooping it right out of your childhood. If you pay for his flight, he'll come jerk you off while you watch a compilation of commercials from your childhood. It's not exactly breaking new ground to suggest commercials, marketing, and advertising is evil. I mean, not on this network, like in season 4 episode 1 of my show Also My Life, episode titled Preemptive Ejaculation, where I recontextualize jingles to highlight the perniciousness of writing earworms to prevent you from ever forgetting your childhood. We can't forget our childhoods, as citizens of the spoils of global war, insulated from the damage of our insatiable appetites for endless choice. This is not an attack on one individual. We're all guilty of imperfection and sloth, because of a structure fueled by mass exploitation, hiding in plain sight the reality of our destructive troughs. This is not a round table of comic book villains setting out to do direct evil. This is the banality of nuking another country twice to ostensibly end a technological war, and patting yourself on the back for not destroying civilization before color television. You're weak for not being a perfectly rational consumer, driving daily to a job you most likely hate, being bombarded by advertisements on your radio and at every pixel of your retinal vision. It's your fault for spending money on Taco Bell on the way home due to your lack of self-control, even though you have a kitchen with ingredients and tools. Forget that commercials not just banged into your brain from the moment you realize you were you, but continuously broadcast as a reminder that a full corporate structure exists to rubber stamp and staff thousands of Taco Bells across the world. You're poor, dumb, and lazy if you work at one of the only jobs available inside an increasing dystopia. Just like you're poor, dumb, and lazy if you succumb to a purposeful system of persuasion. Who knows if it's possible to stop this self-fulfilling and self-perpetuating cycle from continuing? It may be too late, but if we won't even let ourselves speak to the reality of what drives our ennui within a cyberpunk dystopia, constantly telling us how much better things are becoming, as we simultaneously post about the cooked temperature of our brain rot across a seemingly infinite supply of examples, there's truly no hope for the future, aside from removing yourself from the present, so you can
Remember your childhood. 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 Remember your childhood.